most important statistic in trying to judge the health of the real estate market is called the absorption rate, or the number of months of inventory, which simply means if no more homes are listed today, how long will it take to sell off the existing inventory? If that time period is 3 months or less, we call that a seller's market. If that time period is 4 to 6 months, we call that a balanced market. And if that time period is greater than 6 months, if there's that many homes for sale that it would take that long to sell the market off, more than 6 months, we call that a buyer's market. Now remember what I said before, we have a seller's market or appreciation, flat or balanced, buyers or depreciation, like clockwork. There's 2 minor exceptions going back to the 1940s that I can point to where there was a little blip in that, but it did not change the foundational appreciation, flat, depreciation. Every step of the ladder is higher than the previous one. So what this means for you, what this means for us, going back to the main areas I practice in here, which are the Conejo Valley, so Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, Camarillo, the Santa Clarita Valley, Valencia, Saugus, Newhall, and the San Fernando Valley, Woodland Hills, Northridge, Granada Hills, Encino. So starting with the Conejo Valley, the absorption rate, what we were just discussing, is 3.9 months. So we're in that balanced time frame. That's an increase of 44% over this time last year. That's a huge increase. The number of new listings in the Conejo Valley, now interestingly, it's only up 3%, but it's up. So here's another important thing to look at. If we're looking for stats, real estate stats in another area and trying to determine how we're going to transact real estate, we want to know our numbers are accurate, right? So many times you hear about the average days on market. The average days on market is wrong. We don't want to look at that. We want the median days on market. That's a much more dependable, reliable number, and that number is very important to understand how long it's taking homes to sell. The longer they take to sell, the more we are closer to a buyer's market. The median days on market in the Conejo Valley is up 43%. Another huge number. The number of closed transactions is up 4%. Surprisingly, that number is up in the Conejo Valley. So we're actually seeing a couple of, I'll call it competing data points here, which is another reason why it's important to get this information from someone who's going to give you the whole picture holistically, because you can cherry pick pieces of this and paint any picture you want. But unless someone is giving a holistic picture and knows what they're looking at is, number one, accurate, and they know how to interpret and communicate what they're looking at, then it's bad data. And like I said in the beginning, bad data is worse than no data. All right, the Santa Clarita Valley. Our absorption rate in the Santa Clarita Valley is currently 4.3 months, up 48% year over year. The number of new listings in the Santa Clarita Valley is down by 5%. The median days on market is up 47%. And the number of closed transactions in Santa Clarita is down 7%. So those statistics are a little bit more consistent with each other, with the exception of the decrease in the number of new listings. Once we are in a buyer's market, the number of new listings consistently climbs. Lastly, the San Fernando Valley absorption rate is the highest of all three at 4.8 months. That number has increased 37% year over year. The number of new listings on the market in the San Fernando Valley has increased by 4%. The median days on market is up by 50%. So it's taking 50% longer to sell a home now than it was this time last year. And the number of closed transactions is down 2% in the San Fernando Valley. Those numbers right there are the most congruent with each other, which enforces the point that the different market forces are coming together and the different metrics are coming together to show us a picture of where the market's going, which is we are balancing out, we are in a transitional period, and we're going to enter into a buyer's market.